At Manhattan University, a graduate degree is not out of reach. You'll gain real-world skills, credentials employers value, and connections to New York City's top companies. Choose from their new Master of Science degrees in Healthcare Informatics, Digital Marketing and Analytics, Business Analytics, or Financial Analytics, all built around hands-on learning and industry partnerships. Graduate ready to lead, not just work. Take the next step at manhattan.edu/graduate. Manhattan University. Lead the future.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Excuse me. Taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
And meantime, Mahmoud Khalil is hanging out with Mayor Zoran Mandani. Mayor Zoran Mandani puts out a statement condemning the vile protest and seems to leave out the terrorists, the Islamic terrorists, who threw these bombs, one of them that could have caused mass destruction. And the goal was, they said, they wanted the attack to be deadlier than the Boston Marathon bombing, which killed 3 people and injured so many others. That was the goal of these terrorists. They said it on body cam. They said it all over the place. They weren't hiding who they were. For some reason, Zoran Mandani seems to be hiding who they are. So why is that? Well, Mahmoud Khalil is who Zoran Mandani was hanging around with last night. I mean, the company this guy keeps is very questionable, to say the least. And Zoran Mandani hanging out with him after all the stuff that goes through this weekend. This is the guy who was running those pro-Hamas protests all over college campuses. And boy, was he a part of these groups that said a lot of vile things and were handing out all those vile folders and flyers during the protests on college campuses, especially on Columbia University campus, where Jewish students felt downright terrorized. And let's go back a little bit down memory lane. This is Mahmoud Khalil, and he was asked on CNN, will you condemn Hamas? And for some reason, he dodged and weaved on that one, too.
Just to be clear here, though, do you specifically condemn Hamas, a designated terrorist organization in the United States, not just for their actions on October 7th?
I condemn the killing of all civilians, full stop. But what I don't want to get into is no, I am very clear with condemning all civilians. I'm very straight in my position in that part. But it's disingenuous to ask about condemning Hamas while Palestinians are the ones being starved now by Israel. It's not condemning October 6th, where 260 Palestinians were killed by Israel on before October 7. So I hate this selective outrage of condemnation, because this is not. This wouldn't lead to a constructive conversation. And this is also like what we want to deal with is the root causes of why that happened. And it's in no way anyone can justify the killing of civilians.
Just to be clear, Mahmoud, we did ask about, we talked at length about your views, of course, on the Palestinians, but it is fair to ask you about whether you condemn Hamas, because the Trump administration has claimed that you are a Hamas sympathizer. So it's very important to actually ask that question in this broad conversation.
Yeah, I simply asked and protested the war in Palestine.
Wait a minute. That wasn't a trick question. That was a very interesting sequence, because it was like, it's not really fair to be mean to these people called Hamas. He seemed to be justifying what they did. Then he brought up, deaths of Palestinians prior to October 7th. And he seemed to be making excuses for October 7th. This is Mahmoud Khalil. This is the guy who was leading all these protests. He's telling us who he is. We saw him in action, and he's not denying it. And then here is Zoran Mandani, 3 months before the October 7th massacre, echoing, globalize the Intifada. Let's throw this one out. Here it is.
So who is ready to end the exception? I want to hear you say, not on our dime! Not on our dime! Not on our dime!
It's incredible. That guy got elected mayor of New York City with the biggest Jewish population. And then let's not forget Zohran Mamdani's father. Here he is.
America is the genesis of what we call settler colonialism. And the American model was exported all around the world. Abraham Lincoln generalized the solution of reservations. They herded American Indians into separate territories. For the Nazis, this was the inspiration. Hitler realized two things. One, that genocide was doable. It is possible to do genocide. That's what Hitler realized. Second thing Hitler realized is that you don't have to have a common citizenship. You can differentiate between people. The Nuremberg laws were patterned after American laws. Anyway, the U.S. put Indians in reservations. The U.S. invented the model.
So he's equating what? Hitler learned genocide from Abraham Lincoln, like America created genocide, and then Hitler was just copying it because America is bad.
This is Greg Kelly. Donate now to Toys for Tots, which works year-round. Go to toysfortots.org. Toys for Tots supports children in need throughout the year with programs like the Toys for Tots Literacy Program. Established in 2008, it has provided over 63 million books to disadvantaged children. The Toys for Tots Literacy Program is committed to providing disadvantaged children with direct access to books and educational resources that enhance their ability to read and communicate effectively. Go to toysfortots.org.